The views and opinions expressed on the following program are not necessarily those of the staff and management of Salem Media of Hawaii.
Welcome to Hawaii Money Resource with financial advisor Marko Mijuskovic.
Marko Mijuskovic is registered representative and financial advisor of Park Avenue Securities LLC, 7 Hanover Square, New York, 10004, and at Wealth Strategy Partners, 677 Ala Moana Boulevard, Suite 720, Honolulu, Hawaii, 96813. This show is for informational purposes only. Individual risk tolerance and investment objectives must be reviewed prior to making any specific recommendations.
And now your host, Marko Mijuskovic.
Welcome back. You're listening to Hawaii Money Resource. My name is Marko Mijuskovic, Senior Partner at Wealth Strategy Partners, also Certified Exit Planner. You're listening to Hawaii Money Resource exclusively Wednesday night, 5 to 6 p.m. Today we have a business exit planning edition of Hawaii Money Resource, and you already know that if you don't have a business owner as a guest in our studio, we usually talk about a business exit planning. Don't forget, every Wednesday, 5 to 6 p.m., you can hear our voice right here at 760 KGU if you're having old-fashioned radio. If not, if you're streaming live from internet, you can stream live directly from HawaiiMoneyResource.com. HawaiiMoneyResource.com. HawaiiMoneyResource.com, also a great place for you to download the podcast, subscribe to our RSS feed so you are pretty much in tune when the new tracks are on and posted for listening. You can see the pictures of the previous guests that we have in our studio since 2011 and much, much more. Also, I would like to remind you, if you are a business owner and you have a great story to share, how did you start it, what prompted you to go down the path of business entrepreneurship, give me a call, 695-2102, 695-2102. We'll be more than happy to talk to you. By the way, area code 808. I'll be more than happy to talk to you, learn about your business, about your path, and definitely bring you on board right here in studio and share that story with everybody else out there that's listening to our radio show. Why is that important? Because I believe if we can learn from someone else's experience, is definitely cheaper than learning through your own experience. Definitely takes less time. And that's what we've been doing here at Hawaii Money Resource since 2011. We've tried to pick the brain of our guests, business owners, try to relive through their experience. And if you're listening out there, you definitely will learn something new, maybe something that you can implement in your business, maybe help you with the startup of your business, so on and so forth. Today, we're not going to talk about any business owners. We're going to talk about a business exit and preparation of your business to be pretty much transferred down the road. We believe that with a good preparation, you'll be able and capable of exiting that business in style. Style meaning with the maximum price that you can get for your business and minimum taxes paid. Talking about a business exit and business exit planning, don't forget to check our website, businessexitplanninghawaii.com. Businessexitplanninghawaii.com is pretty much a website that we set it up purely for a resource, as a resource to you as a business owner. Why? Because everything is there. You can learn more what we do in our office with our clients, business owners. You can read about the different steps and approach when it comes to a business exit and much, much, much more. So that's pretty much a little intro. Like again, if you're a business owner, you're stuck, you don't know where to go, give us a call, 695-2102. 695-2102 is the phone number. You can give me a call, talk to me. There is no charges. I'll be more than happy to brainstorm with you and point you in the right direction. And don't forget, if you are looking to get out of the business in one point in the future, you need to know that you have a resource locally right here in Hawaii that can help you out with preparation. So what are we going to talk today? Since we have a business exit planning edition of Hawaii Money Resource, we're going to talk about a concept called Oldco, Newco, or Old Company, New Company technique. How can you implement that in a transfer, internal transfer when it comes to the family members? Also, if you have a management team that you want to transfer or key employees that you want to transfer business to, you can use the same concept. So I'm going to, starting in a second segment, I'm going to start talking about that. So the title for today's show is Old Company, New Company Technique. and how can you implement it in your exit strategy and your exit plan. Before we go there, let's talk about what's for sure that's going to happen and what is not for sure that is going to be happening. So the first exits are for sure you're going to get out of the business for sure in one shape or form. Either they're going to wheel you out or you're going to successfully transfer their business and sail into the sunset. What's not for sure is failure. If you're planning for the exit, that doesn't mean... Actually, if you're not planning for exit, failure for sure. But if you are, you can have a successful exit. So we understand that business owners are so busy addressing today's economic challenges that they can overlook the critical task of exit planning. We also understand that at some point, all owners exit their business. When that day arrives, owners want to exit on their terms, the most important of which are financial independence and choosing the person or entity that will receive or buy that business. So designing a comprehensive exit plan, which is both based on your exit objectives and flexible enough to adapt to changing economic, business, and personal circumstances, can be the difference between liquidating your company and selling or transferring it for millions of dollars. And you already know, living in Hawaii, that selling assets of the business is happening right here locally. Businesses are going out of the business, and all you hear is not that they got sold and purchased for a lot of money, is that they're actually liquidating their assets and they're getting out of the business. So I'm going to again use the hypothetical business owner who failed to plan. And these two hypothetical business owners who failed to plan, first one is Doug. And several years ago, Doug and an exit planning advisor met with Jim and Tim McCoy, the owners of thriving construction company. What Doug assumed would be a business planning meeting turned into we are getting out of business, so how do we do it? As successful as they were, the McCoys were tired of navigating the labyrinth of government regulation and paying over increasing taxes. Ultimately, the day-to-day grind of running a multi-million-dollar company had taken its toll. For the McCoys, the sale to a third party was not feasible, not only because neither brother was willing to remain with the company after the sale, but also because they had failed to develop a strong management team. Few savvy buyers will purchase a company without great management team committed to remain after the sale. So that was not an option for them. Transferring ownership to one or more key employees also was out of the question. None had been groomed to assume ownership responsibility, nor had the McCoys taken action to fund this type of buyout. Transferring the company to their children was impossible because both owners' children were too young to be active in the company. So the McCoys' only exit option was to liquidate because their highly profitable company had little worth beyond the value of its tangible assets. After the liquidation sale, dozens of employees lost their jobs, and Jim and Tim left millions of dollars on the table. So how can you avoid the McCoys' fate? Question mark. Number one, you need to plan ahead of time. The issue Jim and Tim ignored, including not grooming a management team and failing to plan, provide to be their downfall. However, these and most other issues, if addressed in advance of an exit, can be resolved in a manner that, number one, is cost-effective, number two, enables the business to be transferred, and number three, adds to the value of the business. In our experience, most owners with exit plans need 5 to 10 years to implement all of the strategy necessary to exit successfully. Owners without exit plans spend far longer than waiting and hoping for a buyer. So when you come to us in our office and say, well, Marko, I really am not ready yet to exit. I might be exit 5, 10 years from now. You actually are hitting the right there on the spot. You need to start preparing now. Otherwise, if you're waiting for tomorrow and tomorrow is the day you want to get out of the business, you might be too late. Second thing, what happened to McCoy's is they didn't set measurable goals. An exit plan must set goals, provide accountability, and measure results. This is especially important when goals include protecting and growing value and minimizing taxes. Incorporate flexibility. Plans should have the flexibility necessary to react quickly and effectively when the unexpected happens. Another thing they could do differently is use a proven process. Ultimately, we suggest that owners engage the 7-step exit planning process, and we talk about the exit planning process and 7 steps in the past during our radio show. And if you don't remember, I'm encouraging you go online, businessexitplanninghawaii.com, and check it out. We listed all 7 steps and what each steps do for you. And that step is a systematic process that helped thousands of owners exit their business so far. So it's proven, tested, and works. One way to look at our exit planning process is to associate each step with a question. As you progress through the process, you will be able to answer yes to each one. Number 1, setting exit objectives. Do you know your retirement goals and what will take in cash to reach them? Number 2, determining the business value. Question is, do you know what your business is worth today in cash, not assets or whatever? Increasing business value. Have you identified the best ways to increase your company's value and the cash flow? Number 4, the third-party sale. Do you know how to sell your business to a third party without having to pay extortion in taxes? Number 5, transferring business to insiders. Do you know how to transfer your business to insider, like a family member, co-owners of employees, for cash rather than giving it away? And trust me, talking to a lot of business owners this year, I realized a lot of them are actually giving it away just because they were not aware that there is some other way to do it. Number 6, protect your business. Do you have a continuity plan for your business should you die or become disabled? And trust me, again, 97.8% of the people don't have continuity planning. Number 7, protect your family. Do you have a plan to secure your family financial security should you die or become disabled? The thought and action that go into answering this question consists your unique exit plan. For more information about how to begin answering each of the questions that I just mentioned, don't be a stranger. Give us a call and we'll be more than happy to walk you through the process. Once again, you're listening to Hawaii Money Resource, and today we have a business exit planning edition of Hawaii Money Resource. Let's take a quick break and come back in just a few minutes. Stay tuned. Don't forget, today's topic is old company, new company technique and how you can use it. My name is Marko Mijuskovic. Stay tuned and we'll be right back.
.760 KGU.
Part of the Wall Street Business Network.
Hey, sweetie, what's going on?
Well, honey, I have some news.
Okay, what?
All that training paid off. I got the job.
Oh, I knew you would get it. So when do you start?
When you donate stuff to Goodwill, you help provide job training for people right here in your community. Goodwill. Donate stuff. Create jobs. Find your nearest donation center at goodwill.org. A message from Goodwill and the Ad Council.
My grades were bad. I would get D's and C's.
I appeared to be doing good at my school life, but if you would see me at home, it would have been a completely different story.
I mean, it was just rough focusing on school when your mother is somebody you have to take care of. It got worse and worse and worse throughout the years.
There are students who need somebody.
They can trust someone, and it could be the first person they've ever trusted in their life.
Communities in Schools is lowering America's dropout rate by helping more than 1.3 million kids every year get whatever they need to succeed in school.
If something was going on at home, we would go just stop by Miss Liberty's office and talk to her.
Communities in Schools vouched for me when everyone else had lost hope.
You can help change the picture of education right here in your community and across the nation. Visit communitiesandschools.org.
I hear people say we can't save every kid, but I think that we can.
Once upon a time, there was a business owner who worked hard and watched his company flourish. Then came the time to sell his company and retire in Palm Beach. But the path to his happily ever after was full of pitfalls and monstrous taxes. Whatever was he to do?
It's not a fairy tale, and the wrong strategy can deprive you of a storybook ending. I'm Marko Mijuskovic, and I know about business valuation. I'm also a specialist in business exit, asset protection, and estate planning. Visit my website, businessexitplanninghawaii.com, and I promise you'll find more than just a trail of breadcrumbs.
BusinessExitPlanningHawaii.com is an online resource designed to help you prepare for the final stage of your business's life cycle. At BusinessExitPlanningHawaii.com, you'll have no trouble at all finding workshops, podcasts, videos, articles, and more. Your happily ever after is just a click away at BusinessExitPlanningHawaii.com.
You're listening to Marko Mijuskovic on AM 760. More than 4,000 other listeners tune in daily to hear Marko talk about investment strategies and his new area of expertise, business exit planning. If you're ready to take it to the next level, Mr. Mijuskovic invites you to attend one of his complimentary seminars. Each month, he offers a seminar for business owners interested in business exit planning. For everybody else, he offers a second seminar on investment strategies. Either way, you'll get such a wealth of information that I'm going to attend one right now. For information on how you can attend, visit HawaiiMoneyResource.com. The lawyers can take it from here.
Registered representative and financial advisor of Park Avenue Securities, LLC, PAS, OSJ 7 Hanover Square, New York, 10004, 1-888-600-4667. Securities products and advisory services offered through PAS member FINRA SIPC. Financial representative of the Guardian Life Insurance Company of America. Guardian, New York, New York. PAS is an indirect wholly owned subsidiary of Guardian. Wealth Strategy Partners, LLC is not an affiliate or subsidiary of PAS or Guardian. 2014-16224, expiration 1/2017.
You're listening to Hawaii Money Resource with financial advisor Marko Mijuskovic. If you'd like to speak to Marko, either on the air or after the show, call toll-free from Oahu and the Outer Islands, 877-695-2102. That's 877-695-2102.
Welcome back. You're listening to Hawaii Money Resource. My name is Marko Mijuskovic, Senior Partner at Wealth Strategy Partners, also Certified Exit Planner. Certified Exit Planner, what that means for you? Well, that means that we are doing business exit planning day in and day out. That's all what we do in the office, and we're helping a lot of business owners currently in transition process, in a process of preparation for exit, and so on and so forth. And you as a business owner, you're probably thinking, well, okay, maybe I don't have a lot of money in the bank, but my value is in my business. Well, if you're thinking that way, give us a call, 695-2102, 695-2102. Why? Because this is the time where you want to start thinking, how can you transfer that money out of the business and put it in your personal pockets and prepare your business for eventual sale down the road or transfer or whatever you like. So today we're going to talk about it on one of the concepts that businesses can do in order to transfer the business and make this transfer easier, because you need to know transfers are never easy, but they make this transfer easier because there is a technique that you can apply to it in order for this business to be successfully transferred. I just want to remind you that 7-step process that we are following when it comes to the preparation of business for exit is following. And I always said that, and I'm going to remind that because it's a process. So business owners that are listening to our radio show, they know that when they come to see me and my team, they're actually going to be presented with the process, with the steps, exactly what needs to be done, when and how, so there is no mystery around it. And 7 steps are following. Setting up the exit objectives. Usually you need to figure out where you want to do, what you want to do once you retire or transfer the business, and what is the time frame. How much time you need to give it to yourself to prepare successfully for leaving that business one day in style. Second step is, you were working this business, on this business for 20, 30 years, but did you ever measure what the value of that business is? If not, that will be our step 2. Step 3 is increasing the business value. Okay, now we know what the value is. We're a little bit shocked and a little bit depressed because it's not what we imagined, but let's see how can we grow that business to the level that we're going to be happy and satisfied. That's number 3, increasing the business value. Number 4, business is big, $5 million in value and beyond. Nobody within the company has money to pay. Let's talk about how can we sell this business to the third party. That's a step number 4. Step number 5, same scenario, but the business is probably worth less than $5 million. And there is quite a few people in the company. They can take over that business from me as a business owner. So that will be transferring your business to insiders. That's a step number 5. Number 6, okay, now we know where we're going to go and how we're going to transfer and we're going to transfer this business. But guess what? What's going to happen with the business from now till the point we're ready to transfer? So we need to see how can we protect that business and create that continuity plan. Step number 6, continuity plan. Number 7, wealth transfer, wealth shifting, and how can you, now you transferring the business, you're done, money is in your pocket, how can we transfer that money to the next generation, spouses, kids, whoever? How can we make that in the most tax efficient way? So I'm just reminding you quickly of the 7-step process that we are following and using in the process of developing the business exit plan. And trust me, there is a lot of moving parts that we need to address, and you need to address as a business owner, regardless, are you preparing to transfer this business, sell this business, or not? A lot of business planning, tax planning. Okay, so now let's talk about the what we're going to be covering, the technique that we're going to be covering today in our business exit planning edition of Hawaii Money Resource. So like I mentioned earlier in the beginning, the technique that we're going to cover today is the Oldco Newco technique. Oldco Newco stands for Old Company, New Company technique. So you have made up your mind that you will transfer ownership of your company to insider, whether it's your children or key employees. However, you may not be ready to turn over the total control of company just yet. Does this sound familiar? Yes, a lot of people are feeling this way. However, since you're not ready to transfer the control completely, you need to come out with a solution for that. So, in fact, you might want to make sure you can undo any damage that could result from your successors failing to successfully carry on the business, as well as failing to pay you in full for that business. So what happens when your children or key employees not only want to run, but also control the business before you're sure they're ready? One technique that can set up an exit plan to meet and help meet these objectives is concept called Oldco Newco, or Old Company, New Company. Under this planning technique, the existing business, otherwise called Oldco, remains under your control and ownership as the current owner. A new company, or Newco, is formed, which is owned by the children or key employees who will run the new business. Oldco leases equipment, office, and warehouse space or other facilities, and often even employees, to Newco, allowing the Newco to launch its business with very little capital. If the new company fails, Old Company and its assets are not at risk. If new company succeeds, it eventually buys the equipment, facilities, and other goodwill from Old Company using the future cash flow of New Company. To better understand the Oldco Newco concept, let's look at how one business owner used this design to successfully transfer his manufacturing business to his daughter. So we're going to cover hypothetical business owner and Oldco Newco concept. So the owner of Lamco was ready to slow down and turn the business over to his youngest child, Sherry. However, Lambert, the owner, knew one serious error on her part could probably send the business, most of involving government contracts, work up in smoke. And of course, he didn't want to do that. Lambert's exit planning advisor had Sherry set up a new woman-owned enterprise. This status gave her an advantage in bidding for government contracts. She successfully obtained contracts and leased the manufacturing facilities and equipment from Lamco at the fair market value rental rate. If for some reason Newco failed, the Oldco assets were not at risk. The exit plan enabled the senior lumber to retire in comfort. For old company, new company, there are 5 distinct steps that you will need to follow to set up this type of business transfer structure. So if you have a pen and paper, I'm strongly encourage you to start writing down. Step number 1, create a new entity. The first step in structuring an Oldco-Newco arrangement is creating a new entity with a clearly separate identity. The new entity may be an LLC, S corporation, or C corporation. For more detail, you should talk to your attorney and your CPA. Step 2, restructure the existing entity. The existing entity or Oldco should be restructured, if possible, as a pass-through entity. Otherwise, the issue of how to get money to existing owner who may no longer be working can arise. Unless Oldco retains other business operation and the owner is actively employed, receiving cash flow in the form of compensation creates needless Federal Insurance Contribution Act FICA taxation. Step 3, establish leasing arrangements. The third step in creating Oldco-Newco structure is having Oldco enter into a leasing arrangement with Newco. The arrangements may include the following. Newco leases existing equipment from Oldco. An installment sale also could be used. At the expiration of the equipment lease, Newco will have the ability or option to purchase the equipment for fair market value. Newco lease office or warehouse space from Oldco or Oldco's owner. Newco lease Oldco's employees on a part or full-time basis from Old company or perhaps on a project basis. So you can structure it however you like. Step number 4, create a management arrangement. In the fourth step, new company enters into the management arrangement with the old company, especially if employees are the owners of Newco rather than children. This arrangement allows the owner of Oldco to maintain oversight and define level of involvement with new company, its employees and customers. It also provides a justification for the transfer of cash from new company to old company and eventually to old company's owner. The last step, step number 5, continue a business operation. During the final step, the following activities occur. New company contracts with old company customers for new work. Old company assigns existing vendor arrangements, which may require the consent of those vendors, especially if they're distributor type of arrangements, and existing customers contracts to new company so it can be performing existing or future work for customers. Next thing is an gradual transaction may occur. This gradual transition may occur, and workers' compensation issues are analyzed, and depending on the conclusion, existing employees may be leased to new company. It's very important that you address all the details because a lot of hurdles can happen in the process and during this Oldco-Newco technique. So it's very important for you to address as much as you can of the hurdles that you might be facing in the future. We usually suggest if you're working with the attorney and they're suggesting this concept, talk to the attorney, see if they did similar type of work sometimes in the past, and if you can pick the brain of those people that went through the process already, what is their feedback. As you can see, with a bit of planning, it's relatively straightforward to implement old company, new company strategy that helps to meet all of your exit planning goals. Of course, if you have any questions, you are more than welcome to give us a call, and we'll be more than happy to talk to you about a concept, old company, new company technique. Don't forget, you're listening to Hawaii Money Resource. Today we have a business exit planning edition of Hawaii Money Resource. My name is Marko Mijuskovic, Senior Partner of Wealth Strategy Partners, also Certified Exit Planner. Name of the show for today is the Old Company, New Company Technique. Stay tuned. We're going to take another break. Once we come back from the break, we're going to go even further with the Old Company, New Company Technique, and we're going to address this technique in a process of management team transfer. So stay tuned, and I'll be right back.
760 KGU.
Part of the Wall Street Business Network.
Hands can do incredible things. They made every sound in this piece of music. But nothing compares to using them to help save a life. If an adult suddenly collapses, call 911, then push hard and fast in the center of their chest until help arrives. It's called hands-only CPR, and it's recommended by the American Heart Association. Visit handsonlycpr.org today. A message from the American Heart Association and the Ad Council.
Peter Herrick was a 34-year-old carpenter when he joined the Navy Reserve. Peter's wife, Diana.
They were deployed to build schools and bases and to assist the Marines.
When the mortar round hit, I was completely knocked out. I didn't wake up until 6 days later.
Paralyzed veteran, Senior National Service Officer Raymond Bruce.
I saw Pete when he was at his worst. He didn't know if he was going to live to be able to see his daughter graduate from high school.
Raymond knew that I needed help figuring out where do we go from here.
We not only represent the veteran, but we represent the whole family.
11 months, we stayed in the hospital down in Tampa.
We advocate, we educate, and we process claims through the VA, and we follow that claim from the beginning to the end.
Without Paralyzed Veterans of America, I really honestly believe I'd still be in the hospital.
You can help our paralyzed veterans. To learn more, visit pva.org, a public service of Paralyzed Veterans of America.
How would you like to work in the world of finance? Wealth Strategy Partners is considering smart, motivated financial associates. You will have the potential to earn competitive earnings while providing a necessary service to the community. Furthermore, when you join Wealth Strategy Partners, you will be eligible to receive a full benefits package, including insurance, a pension plan, and more. If you enjoy working with people and have an interest in making a difference in people's lives, contact Wealth Strategy Partners, 695-2102. That's 695-2102. Make the call that could change your life. 695-2102. Join Wealth Strategy Partners. 695-2102.
Registered representative and financial advisor of Park Avenue Securities, LLC, abbreviated PAS, 7 Hanover Square, New York, New York, 10004. Securities, products, or services and advisory services are offered through PAS, a registered broker-dealer and investment advisor, 888-600-4667. PAS is a member of FINRA SIPC.
You're listening to Hawaii Money Resource with financial advisor Marko Mijuskovic. If you'd like to speak to Marko, either on the air or after the show, call toll-free from Oahu and the outer islands, 877-695-2102. That's 877-695-2102.
Welcome back. You're listening to Hawaii Money Resource. My name is Marko Mijuskovic, Senior Partner at Wealth Strategy Partners, also Certified Exit Planner, dealing with the business owners all day, every day, all the time. As you already know, today we have a Business Exit Planning edition of Hawaii Money Resource, and the topic is Old Company, New Company Technique. And what is it that? Well, that's just a process or technique that you can use in order to transfer your business internally. Not externally, but internally. And this process is usually when you're transferring the business to the key management, key employees, or your children, of course. Can you use this technique for transferring the ownership to externally to someone else? I don't know. Probably some way and shape or form, but it's usually used for internal transfer. So that is the what we talked about earlier. We talked about Oldco, Newco technique, and we were just covering the 5 steps that you need to go through. So I'm just going to repeat them quickly, and then we're going to talk about the Oldco, Newco technique for management team transfer. So stay tuned. Do not change the channel. Step 1, create a new entity. Step 2, restructure the existing entity. Step 3, establish leasing arrangements for your employees or for equipment. Step 4, create a management arrangement if the old business owner is going to be a part of the new business as an employee. And step 5, continue business operations. So if you miss any of this by any chance, you can definitely wait till the podcast is up. HawaiiMoneyResource.com. HawaiiMoneyResource.com. That's the website where you can download the podcast, or you can give us a call, 695-2102, 695-2102. That's a phone number that will dial in right into our office, and from there I will talk to you a little bit more and we can identify the opportunities. So let's don't waste any more time, and let's talk about old company, new company technique for management team transfer. So old company, new company business transfer structure can provide a successful exit plan for business owners who want to avoid ongoing business operational liability, minimize tax consequences on a sale of business assets, and redirect business cash flow. We also acknowledge how it can be relatively straightforward to implement the Oldco Newco strategy that accomplish the following. Number one, separates future liability and risk from existing assets. Step 2, carves out the assets or business operation appropriate for transfer to either employees or children. And number 3, direct future income from the overall business operation to the appropriate entity or person. So Oldco Newco, or shortcut for Old Company New Company, is a good exit plan if you have a key management team members who want ownership of the company now, or they might leave Old Company and form a new competitive entity. Old Company New Company also can be a good exit strategy when you want out of the business immediately. Your business, Old Company, may be worth too much to sell to the management team in comparison to the projected future cash flow. Consequently, the standard technique of using cash flow to first pay for minority interest over a number of years before having the management team purchase the balance of the ownership interest does not work very well. In the instance such as this, Old Company New Company enables your management team to continue running the business in new company and lease what is needed from the old company. Ultimately, this strategy might satisfy your management team desire for immediate control and ownership, as well as your desire to immediately leave the business. Also, the Old Company New Company strategy for management team business transfer still enables you to exit without risking the entire asset value of the business. To illustrate the advantages of the Old Company New Company in this context, it's helpful to contrast this business transfer technique with a typical transfer to insider strategy. So, if you are transferring your business to insiders in a traditional manner, a minority ownership is initially transferred to the management team and you remain in control of the business. In this scenario, either you need to remain involved in the business or in control of the ownership. Otherwise, you risk the loss of the value of the company. This may be the acceptable risk when your management team is proven or you wish to maintain some involvement in the business. However, if you are ready to leave today and your management team is not sufficiently tested or experienced, the Old Company New Company concept allows you to leave your company without risking the entire asset value of the business. If successor management does not succeed, the value of the Old Company assets is intact. As with an exit plan, it is important to use appropriate tax and valuation professional to correctly structure the Old Company New Company strategy. It is most advantageous to consider the Old Company New Company technique when the liability exposure of your business operation is significantly great. Typically, this is a favorable strategy for businesses like construction, general contractors, architecture firms, food processors, and home builders. Also, in situations where the company's bank or bonding company refuses to release the Old Company owner's personal guarantee all collateral from the loan or bond. Few owners are willing to part with the control of ownership of the underlying business asset. Retaining the assets in the Old Company helps to ensure that those assets are available for liquidation to pay off business debt. So overall, Old Company New Company is a strategy that is well suited to meet many owner business transfer exit objectives. Of course, if you have any questions or you are maybe recognizing the opportunity for your business to utilize this transfer technique, do me a favor, give us a call, 695-2102, 695-2102, and we'll be more than happy to address this technique with you and help you structure the transfer. And from our experience, I can share a little bit more with you when it comes to the old company, new company technique that is usually working in scenarios that when the time required for transfer, for internal transfer, is more than 5 or 6 years. Another thing is, like I mentioned earlier, the good candidate for old company, new company techniques is usually a construction company where the bonding is required and the business is not going to continue to grow if the bonding is available. So therefore, structuring the new company and assigning the majority of ownership to the person you want to transfer this business to, and you as the owner of the old company retain smaller percentage of the ownership, is giving you opportunity to still go for those larger jobs that you can either subcontract to the new company, or you can have a new company directly bid for those new jobs. So old company, new company is a lot of time related to psychologically how the business owner is feeling when it comes to the transfer of the business. But on the other hand is when the business person that would like to take over the business is getting the majority of shares instantly in the new company and becoming an owner of the new company from the get-go, from the day one, versus slowly buying the shares of the old company over a number of years is maybe not giving him that ownership feeling right away, maybe sometimes down the road, year 5, 6, or 7. So if you are a potential candidate for this technique, give us a call. This technique is not stranger to us. We'll be more than happy to talk to you and provide you with more reading material. There is a lot of reading material on this concept. Don't forget to check our website, businessexitplanninghawaii.com, businessexitplanninghawaii.com, because majority of this stuff is there or is going to be there sometime soon. And don't forget that today's topic for a business exit planning additional Hawaii money resource is old company, new company technique. Once we come back from a break, we're going to take a last break, and then we're going to talk about an old company, new company technique for family business transfer and how can you transfer the business ownership to the family member by using this technique. My name is Marko Mijuskovic. You're listening to Hawaii Money Resource, Business Exit Planning, additional Hawaii Money Resource. And don't forget, check us online, businessexitplanninghawaii.com or hawaiimoneyresource.com. Stay tuned and we'll be right back.
.760 KGU.
Part of the Wall Street Business Network.
You've gone to protests, written letters, even considered chaining yourself to a tree. But saving the world is not easy at all. Fortunately, saving a life is. And when you donate 1 pint of blood, you can save up to 3 lives. Visit bloodsaves.com to learn more.
We all want to retire someday, but how will you afford it? Marko Mijuskovic here, financial advisor for Wealth Strategy Partners. Times are tough, but nothing brings comfort and security like having a financial strategy. Some financial strategies can be complicated. All those numbers and percentage points. It makes your head spin. But that's why I created an easier to understand system called Retirement Income Timeline. Let me analyze your situation using my Retirement Income Timeline, and I'll show you how you may be able to turn your money worries of today into a stress-free retirement of tomorrow. It's easy. Just call me and I'll assist you. Get your personal retirement income timeline by me, Marko Mijuskovic, today. Call 695-2102, 695-2102.
Registered representative and financial advisor of Park Avenue Securities, LLC, abbreviated PAS, 7 Hanover Square, New York, New York, 10004. Securities products or services and advisory services are offered through PAS, a registered broker-dealer and investment advisor. 888-600-4667. PAS is a member FINRA SIPC.
Achieving personal financial success can be complicated. Marko Mijuskovic can make it simpler. That's something very good to know in a world where the wrong financial decisions can be all too costly. Marko Mijuskovic, Vice President of Wealth Strategy Partners, has been helping people in Hawaii successfully organize and plan their finances for years. Marko uses an holistic approach to help you balance your current financial obligations as well as your future concerns. And he does this while keeping things simple. Organizing your finances is serious business, but it doesn't have to be complicated. Find out how Marko can help you make smart, informed decisions about your financial future. Call him and schedule your complimentary session and tell him your story. He's there to listen. The toll-free number to call is 877-695-2102. That's 877-695-2102. 877-695-2102. Marko Mijuskovic. You're listening to Hawaii Money Resource with financial advisor Marko Mijuskovic. If you'd like to speak to Marko, either on the air or after the show, call toll-free from Oahu and the Outer Islands, 877-695-2102. That's 877-695-2102.
Welcome back. You're listening to Hawaii Money Resource. My name is Marko Mijuskovic, Senior Partner at Wealth Strategy Partners, also Certified Exit Planner. You're listening to Hawaii Money Resource, 5 to 6 p.m. every Wednesday night, exclusively. Well, if you cannot wait till next Wednesday, you can always go online to hawaiimoneyresource.com, and you can listen to our previous shows. We did quite a few, 400 something, I don't even know, probably more. Shows. We started back in 2011, and what we do here, just a quick reminder, we talk about business. We are a pro-business radio show. We like business owners, we like businesses, we like working with the business owners on their planning and preparation for a future departure from the business. That's what pretty much we do. When we do not have a guest in a show to pick their brain for 1 hour, we talk about business exit planning. We call the business exit planning edition of Hawaii Money Resource. And that's exactly what we do today. Today's topic is old company, new company technique, or short version is Oldco, Newco. And we cover quite a few things since we started early in a couple of segments ago. We just talked about Oldco, Newco technique in general. 5 steps that it requires you to go through that process. And in the last segment, we talk about the Oldco, Newco technique for management team transfer. Like you already heard, it's a good way to transfer the business when you as a business owner, you want to remain the control of the company, but in the same time, you don't want to put your current assets at risk in a process of transferring. So let's talk about the same concept, but transferring the business for a family to a family members. So old company, new company is designed to avoid ongoing business operational liability, minimize the tax consequences on a sale of the business assets, and redirect business cash flow. And how's this accomplished? Well, it's accomplished by, number 1, separating future business liability and risk from valuable existing business assets by creating a new entity. We call it a Newco, or new company. And that new company is designed to continue business operations. Number 2, minimizing taxation on the transfer of the valuable assets by creating a new business using assets leased from the original company rather than creating a tax consequences by transferring ownership of a goodwill and other assets from the existing business to new ownership. And number 3, transferring or concentrating cash flow to the new owners or to the owners of one of the 2 entities, either old company or new company. So when is this coming handy? Let's say you have a business that is valued at $8 million. How can you transfer the business of $8 million to, let's say, the family members that doesn't have money to buy this business for $8 million? Well, you can transfer it by doing different techniques, but sometimes you might get audited. And IRS says, well, how come your kids bought this business for like X amount of dollars and actually the value is Y? By doing the concept old company, new company, you actually do not need to worry about the value of existing company and transferring that to your children. Why? Because they will form the new company that doesn't have any value, plus they will be owners of the business from the day one. So the most common use of the old company, new company concept is in a family business transfer. In the family-run business scenario, old company, new company may work well in the situation that does not lend itself to gifting, either outright or indirectly, by using the grantor retained annuity trust. We call it GRATs. GRATs do not work effectively to transfer ownership interest when there is a substantial value, but the business is not growing in value or does not have significant income. Lifetime gifting without using some type of split interest trust such as GRATs or intentionally defective grantor trust, IGIT, can quickly exhaust available gift tax exemptions and create unwanted taxation in these instances. So in these instances, old company, new company can be the best strategy because it can allow your children to own and run the business operations without having to immediately pay for the hard asset. As with an exit plan, though, it's important to use an appropriate tax and valuation professional. This is a legal disclosure. It's important to use appropriate tax valuation professional to correctly structure the old company, new company structure. The old company, new company concept also is a great option for owners when the liability exposure of their business operation is significant. Typically, this is a favorable strategy for businesses like construction general contractors, architecture firms, manufacturing company, and home builders. The concept also can be advantageous when business owners want to maintain ongoing management involvement and have the ability to exercise a considerable degree of control over the business operation until they are satisfied that the business can continue without their involvement. AKA, this is for the control freaks, type A personality business owners, right? We have 4 minutes left. Don't be offended if you're listening to my show because this is true, and you, if you're listening and you are type A control freak business owner, this is good concept for you. So instead of being offended, you should pick up the phone and give us a call so we can maybe help you transfer your business to your kids. So let's take a look how one business owner used Oldco Newco company when transferring the forklift company to his children. After reviewing the 7-step exit planning process with us, the business owner determined that his main exit objective was to transfer his business to his children over the next 5 years to 7-year time frame. He did not want to gift the business to the children, but he was willing to receive the value of the assets, approximately $2 million at that time, over the same time frame. One of the owner's major concerns was that he wanted to limit his liability exposure from the business as it was transferred to his children and as they assumed more operational control. He also wanted to maintain ongoing management involvement during the transition period since it would take time to properly train his children to successfully run forklift business. Under these circumstances, the owner exit planning advisor recommended that the business owner create a new company called Newco to be owned by his children. New company hire all of the employees from old company and begin paying rent to the old company as a lease of these employees. New company sold the forklifts owned by the Oldco under the assignment agreement, giving new company the non-exclusive right to sell the forklifts. Each time new company sold the forklift, it paid old company the cost of the forklift plus the predetermined profit. New company retained the bulk of the profits and after paying the cost of the sale and moderate salary to the children, invested the profits in buying new forklifts. Over the 5 to 7 year period, new company accumulated sufficient equity so it could secure bank finances to buy the balance of the forklift inventory from the old company. So the old company, new company concept was a good strategy for this forklift business owner because it allowed him to receive payments from the new company and gradually liquidate the inventory from the old company by selling the forklifts via the children's company. Since the entity structure was designed with the liability being new company's responsibility, old company and the owner were not exposed to a liability issue if the children happened to fail in the business. As seen as in this example, old company, new company can be a great solution for your family business transfer. If you have any questions and you like what you heard and it kind of ring the bell when it comes to you as a business owner, ring, you, right? You can always give us a call and learn more, and maybe you can start thinking about succession and exit out of your current business. Don't forget, all this stuff that you hear, it's going to be available on the podcast soon. So if you missed any segments of our show today, don't worry, don't cry. We're going to be putting this online pretty quickly. Actually, not us, but our operators will do that. And you can download the podcast in no time. You're listening to Hawaii Money Resource. My name is Marko Mijuskovic, Senior Partner of Wealth Strategy Partners, also Certified Exit Planner. All we do in the office day in and day out is helping the business owners successfully get out of their business. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with more. Stay tuned.
The Living Balance Sheet and the Living Balance Sheet logo are registered service marks of the Guardian Life Insurance Company of America, New York, New York. The graphics and text used herein are the exclusive property of Guardian and protected under U.S. and international copyright laws. Copyright 2005 to 2011. The Guardian Life Insurance Company of America. This show is for informational purposes only. Individual risk tolerance and investment objectives must be reviewed prior to making any specific recommendations. Marko Mijuskovic is a registered representative and financial advisor for Park Avenue Securities, LLC, 7 Hanover Square, New York, New York, 10004. Securities products, services, and advisory services are offered through Park Avenue Securities, a registered broker-dealer and investment advisor. 888-600-4667. Financial representative, the Guardian Life Insurance Company of America, New York, New York. Park Avenue Securities is an indirect, wholly owned subsidiary of the Guardian Life Insurance Company of America. Wealth Strategy Partners is not an affiliate or subsidiary of Park Avenue Securities or the Guardian Life Insurance Company of America. Park Avenue Securities is a member FINRA SIPC.